I'll be the first person to admit that I was a monkey brain. And I delayed my sculpting process for more than 6 years now because I was seeking validation outside. And if you stick by the end of this video, I promise I will help you avoid making the mistakes that I made and save years of your time in the process. So this is where it all started. This is my first ever sculpt that I made. Okay, back then I was still in university. You were like, hey, this is not that bad of a first sculpt. Trust me, bro, it's bad. Okay, I just used a lot of lighting techniques. Let me make this always on top. Yeah, I just used some lighting techniques to hide all the bad parts. I'm a natural when it comes to lighting. And with good lighting, you can cover up a lot of things, but it's not a fix for a bad sculpt. A bad sculpt is still a bad sculpt. Okay, if you put flowers on shit, it is still shit. Okay, so this is my first sculpt ever. And I remember that I was still in university and we had this advanced modeling class. And our teacher said, hey, today we're going to experiment with mud box and we're going to sculpt a character. Bro, back then I did not even have a graphic tablet. I did not have this thing. And I was sculpting this with a mouse. And I was so addicted to the process. I just felt so satisfied. I was like, damn, bro, these clay strips are so satisfying. I'm adding volume, I'm making muscles, it sucks, but yeah, I was enjoying the process. This was actually pretty fun for me. But the thing is, when I showed this to my friends, or when I showed this to my family, they were like, yeah, nice. Of course, they want to be kind to you. Of course, they want to be nice to you. But you understand it in their voice, in the way that they say it, that yeah, they don't really like it, but they're just trying not to break your heart. Okay, so this was my first ever character. You can see how bad everything looks. Look at this gap between the chest and the arm. This is really, really bad. Look at this forearm, bro. Okay, I had no anatomy knowledge, and yeah, but this was super satisfying. This is when I realized that yeah, I just love making characters. And to be honest, the only reason I got into 3D was because I always loved characters. I just admired cartoon characters, anime characters. I always admired them. And I got into 3D because I wanted to make characters. But yeah, this was my first ever attempt, and I did not get the reaction that I was looking for. So what did I do? I was a monkey brain. I was a Jerry. Okay, and you need to realize that if you're a monkey brain, everyone is a monkey brain, bro. And all we want is validation from others. We want to be accepted by society so that we can feel something. Okay, we can feel eligible to be a part of the society. So yeah, that is why we look at validation outside. But I wish I could go back in time, and I wish I could tell my younger self that, bro, you enjoyed this. You enjoyed this. This is why you wanted to learn 3D. This is what you wanted to make. But let me show you what I did instead. Instead, I just started practicing this. Because right in the next semester, okay, we had to make this short animation, this short film. And I made this character for that animation. It was going to be a 3-minute, 30-second animation. It was our final year project. And yeah, I did not know how to bake everything over here, how to animate this. Just sculpting this was a very long process. So I thought maybe let me just try making something low poly, something that is easier to model, easier to animate, whatever. And yeah, then I make this character. And this character got better feedback. It was like, yeah, this is cute. This is actually cute, bro. Okay, and making something cute is not hard. You just make a big head, big eyes, small body. it's automatically cute. Okay, and this is what impressed a lot of my friends, a lot of my family members. So this is what I ended up doing. Okay, I just started making cartoon characters, these low poly cute characters. I developed this style where I was making these low poly characters, and I milked this. This got a lot of social proof on LinkedIn. So this got a lot of likes, so I made this. This got a lot of likes, so I made this Wednesday. Okay, all of this was cute stuff. This is not hard to sculpt, not hard to model. But what I actually wanted to make is the kind of characters that I'm making now. Okay, this was my goal back then, but I kept delaying it, and I only achieved it now. So yeah, back here to when I was still a Jerry. I was making all of this stuff just to impress the people around me because this got a lot of attraction. But honestly, bro, I was winning in the eyes of other, but I was failing in my own eyes every time. Okay, I made this work, this got validation, but honestly, I just felt really hollow inside. I just felt like there's something missing. And that is because I was delaying this goal right here all along. I wanted to learn this, but I did not. Because every time I tried to make a sculpt, it turned out to be shitty. Okay, this is my journey. I'll share this later with you. But yeah, this is what I would get. Okay, this is the kind of result I would get. You can see I showed you this example. I was a monkey brain. I just wanted to, and the Spider-Verse movie came out and it was really popular. So I thought maybe I should make Spider-Man 2099. This is gonna get a lot of likes on social media, bro. I'm gonna blow up. But I did not because I sucked. Look at this ass, bro. Let me spank it. Okay. This sucks. This sucks. And the only reason I kept doing this because I was seeking validation outside. Okay. And of course, this did not get a lot of reactions, maybe the lighting or whatever, but this is a bad sculpt. Okay. Yeah, you can see. And to be honest, I tried learning in between here. I bought courses, I have watched tutorials, I abandoned courses. I bought the CG Cookie Human course in between. I bought the Victory 3D courses about making Geralt, but I failed, bro. And yeah, you can see here. Whenever I tried sculpting, the results sucked. Okay, this is when I tried to make Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. And this sucks, bro. Why would I want to pursue this? Because this takes me an hour to make, or 4 hours, 5 hours to make, not an hour. Yeah, this was easily 4 or 5 hours. It took me to make this. It's still shitty. I didn't learn anything. I wasn't improving. Whereas I could make something like this and I could get a lot of likes on social media. I would get a lot of reactions out of the people around me. So why would I pursue this? Because no matter how hard I tried, I wasn't able to learn this. This was hard. This was uncomfortable. And moreover, it did not get the social recognition that I wanted. Whereas this did, this did, this did, this did, this did, this did, then why would I want to waste my time learning this? But to be honest, as I told you, while I was doing all of this work that got a lot of likes on social media, a lot of reactions from people around me, I was delaying this goal right here all along, right? And still I didn't learn my lesson. A year, 2 years, 3 years went by and I started doing product renders. Because this was trendy at the time. This was getting a lot of hype on social media. Everyone was into product rendering. This made a lot of money on Upwork and other social media platforms because there was a very high demand for this. There's still a high demand for product renders. So I just got into doing that. I just made these cans, headphones. I made these renders for a car company. I charged them, I think, around 150, 200 for a render. Just for setting things up and just for this render. They gave me the car. I was like, bro, this is easy money. This is easy money. Okay. And I got into making these scenes. So you can see I made this scene. I made a whole short animation and a really short animation. I think it was about 10, 15 seconds long with this guy just walking. He's an assassin. He's like, yeah, it's done. There's this rainy scene and everything. I just started doing this. I started making renders, scenes. Bro, again, the lesson is that I was doing this not for myself, but just to satisfy my ego while I kept delaying the things that I really liked. By the way, I did try to make the this character once again. Yeah, here's the result for that. Yeah, you can see I started doing this. I started doing these low poly environments, low poly game assets. And for a very long time, this is what I did. Okay, I did this professionally. I worked in 2 companies where I was the only artist. So I did all of their modeling, animation, rigging, props, environments, everything. And yeah, this made me a lot of money. This was actually my career. And I also became a top-rated freelancer on Upwork. You can see top-rated here. I have 100% job success score. So yeah, this is what I was doing. Once again, all along, delaying this goal that I had from the start. So the thing I realized here, bro, was that no one else is going to do this for me. I can keep lying to myself. It's been more than 5 years at this point. Okay. And I kept delaying this, kept delaying all of this goal right here. And I just realized, bro, that no one else is going to come here and do this for me. If this is what I'm passionate about, I need to start learning. I need to make time. Of course, I'm going to suck. Everyone sucks at the start. No one is born with a magic graphic tablet and then he just waves his hand and then he can sculpt a masterpiece. No one is born that way. The thing about social media and the thing about looking up to your favorite artist is a trap. Okay, you look up at your favorite artist and you look at all the work that they do and you're like, damn, bro, this is unattainable. This is something that I can never reach. But dummy, how do you think your favorite artist reached that point? How? Just try to make sense of it. How do you think your favorite artist, your favorite creator, reached the level that you look up to? Was he born with this? Yeah. Did he have a talent for this? Do you think he really never practiced? Do you think that your favorite artist really never sucked? Do you really think that? The thing about social media is that everything is set out to show you as an overnight success. Okay, and I'm going to show you the entire process that took me to get here. But yeah, you need to realize that everyone you look online is only going to show you the glamour, the polished stuff. No one is going to show you the behind the scenes or the time where they sucked or the time where they felt demotivated, they felt doubtful. No one is going to share that with you. Because why? Because it's unsexy. It's not the thing that someone wants to hear. It's boring. This may be the stuff that you don't want to hear, but I promise this is the stuff that you need to hear. Okay, and this is why I've always been super transparent about my processes, about my mistakes, because I'm really on this mission that I want to help as many artists as I can avoid the same mistakes that I made. Okay, and I swear, bro, my goal with videos is never to get 100,000 likes or a million views, whatever. If I can help one person with this, I consider this video to be a success. Okay, and that is why I'm always this transparent, this raw with my videos. So yeah, let's dive into this. Okay, so on the December of 2023, I just made myself a promise that, yeah, bro, I'm just gonna start practicing every day. I'm just gonna develop a habit of practicing every day. You need to realize that habits are super powerful. So if you just establish the habit of getting up and sculpting, no matter how shitty it looks, after a year, you're gonna appreciate yourself because you're gonna be in a better place. Just because you had the habit of doing that. Okay, you don't think about getting up and brushing your teeth, right? Sculpting is going to be the same thing. So you just get up. The first thing you're going to have in your mind is, I want to sculpt. And if you establish that habit, of course, you're going to get results. But start slow, okay? You don't need to sculpt for an hour every day. Just start by showing up. Then start by practicing 30 minutes a day. Then push it up to an hour. Just start slow. Give yourself the confidence that, yeah, you can do this. We'll get more into that later, but let me just show you this stuff right here. So on December 23rd, 2023, this is the first sculpt that I made. Okay. And you can see how bad this is. This sucks. All right. And I just took this screenshot because I was like, okay, let me just set a starting point. This is where I started. And then I'm going to look back at this and see how much I've improved. And this was a game changer for me. Okay, so you can see this here. I did not document the journey in between here, so there were a lot of head sculpts between this, a lot of shitty sculpts that looked just like this, even worse or sometimes better. But yeah, I started documenting this later on. I started documenting this on this channel as well, so that this is also when I made this channel. And I was like, bro, I'm just going to document the raw process of when I suck, okay, until I get some results that I can be proud of. And I'm super happy that I did this. So I started documenting this. I started taking screenshots of everything I sculpted every day. You can see how bad this is. Okay, look at the nose, look at the lips. This sucks, bro. Okay, I tried learning the planes of the head, though this never helps. This is a waste of time. Okay, and then you can see I made this skull. Back then I was super proud of this, but now I realize how shitty this is. My first Thanos sculpt. And here I just established the habit of practicing every day. Okay, I just got up and the first thing I did was practice every morning. Okay. Of course, there were days when I didn't feel like doing it, but I just realized, bro, stop being a bitch. You're not a girl. You're not a lady, okay, who does what she feels like doing. You're a man. Man up and do it regardless of you feel like it or you don't. Back then I had a job as well. Not back then, but before this, I had a job and it was a 9 to 6 job. But it was an hour long commute there, an hour long commute back, and every day I had to put in extra hours. It's just the way things are here. It's just the way that things are here, okay? And I just realized, bro, I wake up at 7 a.m. for this dude so that I can be ready by 8 and I can leave the office and I can leave home and I can be there by 9. And then I spend extra hours on top of that. And then I come home around 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and then I'm exhausted and then I sleep. Now, I still wanted to learn Blender. I still wanted to learn the software. And I just did not have the time. I was a Jerry back then. My mind said, hey, bro, you're working so hard. You come home exhausted. And even when my boss called me on Saturdays, I would still show up there. But when it was time to learn the things that I was passionate about, okay, when it was a Saturday and the weekend and it was time for me to practice on the things that I wanted, I just slept in late. I woke up at 2 p.m., 1 p.m. I watched movies, I played piano, I binged on seasons, and it just suddenly hit me. I was like, bro, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? I'm just wasting my time. I'm scrolling on social media all day, and there's literally no point. I just realized that, bro, I'm working so hard for this dude right here. But when it comes to time to work on my things, I want to slack. I want to procrastinate. Why? Why am I working so hard to fulfill someone else's dream, but I'm not putting any effort to fulfill my dreams? The only time that I want some comfort, that I want some convenience, that I want to procrastinate is when it's time to work on my own things. Who else is around me to blame for this? Who else can I blame for this? I just realized that, yeah, bro, this is my life. This is the way things are right now, and there's no escape. I still have to wake up. I'm still gonna be home late. What can I do now? I was just accountable, and then I was like, bro, if I can wake up at 7 a.m. for this dude, I can wake up at 5 a.m. for myself, and I can put those early 2 hours for myself, and that is what I started doing. So I started getting up early at 5 a.m. I started learning Blender. I did the donut tutorial right here to learn the new version of Blender. I did it back in 2017 as well. But back then it was the old Blender, and my university, they only taught Maya. They weren't even aware of the concept of Blender. They were aware, but they didn't teach it. So I dropped Blender, and this is where I started picking it up again. So I started doing the Blender tutorial. I started learning it slowly. And that is also when I developed the habit of waking up early, right? I did not wake up today at 4 a.m. just to be here and to lie to you or just to make another video that is not going to help you. I'm really passionate about this. And yeah, waking up is a hack for artists, and it is something I will cover in a future video. Okay, definitely I will. So yeah, I just started getting up early and I just established this habit of practicing. Over here, I had 2 jobs. I was working a part-time job, a remote job for a Korean company, and I was also working for a freelance client, right? So yeah, I had 2 jobs over here and I was working them. But I got up early and I started documenting. I started learning this. And hey, you can see here all of the sculpts that I made. This was the first anime head that I made, Sukuna. I was watching Jujutsu Kaisen at this time. And this is when I made the first pain. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass to look at this, bro. This is a real pain just to look at this. But then the other day I tried to improve it, and yeah, the result was a bit better, whatever. And yeah, after this I just noticed a significant improvement in my sculpts. Nothing too serious, bro. What I promised myself that I would do is that I would practice deliberately. I wouldn't practice blindly, all right? I wouldn't be like, hey, just let me sculpt 100 heads and then I'll be better. Shut up, bro. It never works, okay? I just told the Jerry inside me, shut up. It never works this way. And what I started doing was every day what I would do is I would sculpt something. I would of course make mistakes, and then I would work specifically on those mistakes. Okay, I saw that the nose isn't working here. You can see how bad the nose is. There was a day that I practiced the nose specifically. The whole day I just practiced nose. It was boring as hell. It was uncomfortable as hell, but that is what helped me improve. And yeah, you can see the noses after that, they started improving. Okay. And yeah, here the nose is the best because I didn't have to sculpt it. But yeah, this is where I started seeing a lot of improvement. And there's another pattern that I want you to notice. Notice how I started lighting here as well. I lighted my sculpts here as well. So my Sukuna sculpt sucked. Okay. And I thought, okay, maybe I can fix this with lighting, bro. So I tried lighting this. I assigned an emission shader to the eyes. I was like, bro, this is going to fix the sculpt, but it never does. This is also when I completely stopped lighting. You can see this is the default blender with just the shadows turned on. That is it. And you're going to notice this pattern down here. I stopped lighting them. The reason I stopped lighting was because I just realized, bro, that I want to improve in sculpting. I have an hour to practice every day. So I'm just going to dedicate that hour to sculpting and sculpting only. Every time I'm texturing, I'm not sculpting. I'm not sculpting. Every time I'm lighting, I'm not sculpting. Every time I put my computer on render, I'm not sculpting. Every time I'm trying to set the cameras for the renders, I'm not sculpting. The only thing that is going to improve me is sculpting. So that is what I did. Only. You can see no lights at all. So I just practiced sculpting, and I just practiced deliberately every day. You can see this is my first Kratos sculpt. This is the first Dobby that I made. And yeah, this is Heihachi Mishima from Tekken. I tried making Marcus from Detroit, but yeah, you can see this sucks, bro. This is my first female head. This was super bad. The second day I tried another female. This was a bit better. The third day I just watched a tutorial online by Speechar, and then I practiced specifically with him. I tried copying all of his movements and I improved, and yeah, this was better. Then I practiced my first superhero, and I wanted to make Omni-Man. Yeah, you can see how bad of an Omni-Man this is. This is a shame to the Viltrumites. And yeah, after this, I just practiced a lot. And then I started preparing for the head sculpting course that I was going to make. Okay, I just got really good at this. People started asking me, hey, where are you learning from? Whoa. And then I just thought, okay, let me just make a head sculpting course so that I can compile all of the lessons that I've learned, all of the bad habits, good habits. This course is, believe me, I talk about mindset inside this course. No one talks about mindset, but I talked about mindset because I believe that this is what you need to fix first. You need to set realistic expectations. I talked about habits inside this course. And by the way, this course is available on the channel for free. So you can go ahead, check this out. It has all the chapters step by step. This is exactly how I wish someone had taught me, because the thing that I realized, bro, is that I delayed this longer than it took me to learn this. And it's painful to even say this. It is painful. It is sad. I wasted 6 years of my life, but it maybe took me about 6 months just to get good results. And with this course, with all the lessons that I compiled, people are getting results literally within a month. Okay. And there's an example here. Let me find Frank. Yeah, look at this. Frank literally learned this in 14 days. 14 days. Because he had the right habits. He practiced the way that I told him. He wasn't fooling around. He's not a Jerry. He had a good mindset even before he joined the community. And yeah, you can see this is the result that he got. So this is very, very achievable if you do things the right way. All right. And yeah, by the way, Frank had zero Blender knowledge. The day he joined my community, my school online, he was practicing the donut tutorial. And it's crazy the progress that he's made. But yeah, these two, this guy, Kasim has learned very quickly. Eugene learned very quickly. Alex is a great learner. There are more examples here as well. You can see Nikolai, he completed the female sculpting courses. He was doing courses before as well. But he also gave me the review that, bro, your courses have helped me to improve learning at other courses as well. And yeah, that is what I help. I just help creating a solid foundation. And right now, this is where I am. I just kept practicing doing the same things. The same things that I was doing here are the same things that I'm doing right now. Getting up early, practicing deliberately, learning new things, improving one day at a time. Of course, I mess up a few times. I slip up a few times. I ruin my routine sometimes. It's all over the place. But my priority is always to get back on track. And it's the same for everyone. No one is at 100% of the game all the time. No one. This is just a fake image that these productivity gurus set online that, hey, I'm productive all the time, bro. No one is. No one is. They may not show this to you, but I just want to be super transparent about this, because exactly this is what kept me in this trap right here. The wrong expectations, the misguidance by all these gurus online. This is what kept me trapped for so many years. And I swear, bro, this is so fulfilling for me. When I see people inside my community get results, when I see other people sharing their results with me on Discord, when I get kind comments under my YouTube videos, this is so fulfilling for me. I just want to help as many artists as I can avoid making the mistakes that I made. So yeah, if you like this video, just subscribe, share it with a friend, do all the algorithm stuff. But yeah, you can see all of the results that I'm getting. Look at the improvement I made on Joker. Okay, this is back when I was a monkey brain. I wasn't learning. I just thought that, okay, maybe, yeah, lighting is going to fix this. Lighting doesn't fix a shitty sculpt. Lighting does not do that. Okay, and you can see the Joker that I made later. You can see the Kratos that I made. Where's the Kratos? Yeah, the one that I made here. Okay, and you can see the one that I made recently. There's a video on the channel covering the process. Look at this Joker here. This elf, this female elf. This was my first creature that I made. This was a challenge by Aryan, by the way. He's another YouTuber friend of mine. Yeah, look at the improvement on Omni-Man. This is the first Omni-Man that I made. Right here. And this is the Omni-Man that I made now. So yeah, this is achievable. But you need to be aware and you need to set realistic expectations for yourself. Okay, nothing comes overnight. Nothing comes easily. Everyone sucks in the start, bro. Everyone sucks. By the way, there's a whole level 0 wall. Let me show you actually. And this is what I tell everyone who joins the community to go and visit whenever they feel doubtful, whenever they feel like they're not getting results. So you can see here, we have a level 0 head, a level 0 wall, bro. And you can see this is where everyone started. This is day 1 of Frank, the guy that I just showed you the result of. Okay, this is his day 0. This is where he started. I love this comparison, by the way. Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. And you can see Alex started here. I showed you his result as well. Right here. Look. And we have me. This is my level 0 head. Kasim, Nikolai. You can see Orlando. He was good at the start, bro. He had been practicing before this. And this is the best level 0 head we have so far. You can see Elijah. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correct. Yeah, this is level 0 of him. So we have this entire wall. Whenever someone feels doubtful, I just tell them, hey bro, go look at the level 0 head. You can see the result people are posting inside the community now. Okay, we have Lee practicing. You can see the results everyone is posting inside right now. And none of this was possible if they hadn't gone through this. If they hadn't gone through this, everyone sucks. Everyone sucks at the start. And the only way you improve is by practicing deliberately, practicing every day, setting yourself a habit of doing this. It's gonna suck. Get used to the suck part. Get used to it. You're gonna sculpt bad heads. Get used to it. And just appreciate yourself. All I did here every day was I practiced deliberately. And instead of delaying my happiness, you know, this is all a psychological game. If you delay your happiness and you're like, you're at this level, all right? And you want to be at this level. And you're like, bro, I'm only going to be happy when I achieve this. Then you're setting yourself up for failure. The reason you're doing that is because you're delaying your happiness, you're delaying your satisfaction up to a point where it's going to take you months or maybe a year. All right. And what you're going to do in the process is whenever you get result, okay, let's say you were here, after a month you're here, you're going to be like, bro, this is not getting results. I'm still so far off of my real goal. And you're going to demotivate yourself. You're going to be like, this is not working. The trick here is to just be your best friend. All right. Imagine your best friend made this, he made this, and now he's thinking of giving up. What would you say to a best friend? It would be like, bro, you've made a lot of improvement. Look at how well you have the head structure now. Look at how well you can sculpt the mouth now. Your face looks much more realistic now. This is what you would say to a best friend, right? But what do you say to yourself? The thing you say to yourself is, yeah, you piece of shit. This isn't working. You're useless. You can't learn. I know this because this is what I said to myself. You have to be your own best friend. You have to appreciate yourself on every little win that you get. Don't delay your happiness to a point where it's unattainable. Delay it. Don't even delay it, bro. Whenever you see a little improvement, appreciate yourself. Be happy. Allow yourself to be happy. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to help you fall in love with the process. And when you just love in the process, the journey is beautiful itself. And you won't even realize when you reach here. You won't even realize that, damn, a year has passed by and this is where I am right now. All right. So yeah, I hope this video helps you. If you want to join the community, you can check out the link in the description. This is the community where everyone is serious. Everyone talks about sculpting. And yeah, when everyone's doing sculpting, what you want to do is sculpting as well. So yeah, goodbye. See you. And yeah, do let me know how do you find this video. Comment below. I love feedback. Goodbye.